Hello viewers, welcome back. Hi Lydia, welcome back. Now here we are. Lydia, now you are in Form 3, you have a baby, now you are going to boarding school. Tell us what happened now.
When I went back to school, I was just like the other girls. We went back to school, and at least now there is nobody who knows my story. And I am trying, though there was some girls from our home, but they couldn't tell my story.
Yeah.
But I'm like feeling, okay, my mental health is good, but when it's bad, but when your mental health is bad, you don't even know that you have a problem. You just think it's normal. When you are like, when you don't have self-esteem, you think it's normal. When you don't have, you're not feeling worthy yourself, you're not feeling valuable, you think it's just the same. You think that that's how people live. And I went back to school, but as I told you before, that we had so many struggles. My mother was struggling to put a bread in the table. She was struggling also with our school fees. And as I told you, that we were many. It was not only me. We had my siblings are 8, at that time 9. Wow. So my mother was struggling. And here my father he's like being forced, do this, do that, but he doesn't want to do it. And he will do some things and then leave another. No communication, no understanding at all in home. So that buried my mom. Like, she was bitter in her heart. Like, she was so hurt. And at the same time, she had to go on with life. So I went back in school, but what happened? Even me, I needed someone who can love me back, who can take care of me, who can understand me. But what I got, I was hurt. I was hurt more than I was hurt. It was like I went back to school, but sometimes I would lack shopping, so I could go to, if I get attention to men, I will take it, and I will take it like financial security. I will go do shopping with that money, and at least I will go back to school. I will buy soap, I'll buy always, toothpaste, things like that, and even pants. For a girl, to exist, to live, to survive in boarding school. But my mother never knew which struggles I am going through, or maybe she never even wanted to know, because she also was struggling with herself. She didn't have that mental health. And this video, it's all about that. You need to know your value, you need to know your self-worthy, but that one you can only find it in God, not a human being, not in your husband, not in your parents, not in your boyfriend, but only in God. And that is why he says in his word, when you were born, I knew you, I set you apart. Even before you were conceived in your mother's womb, I still knew you, and I set you apart. So I'm telling you that there is a purpose in your life. God loves you. God knows you by your name. You are worthy. You are valuable, and you are not a mistake. Because at that time, I didn't know all that. I thought that I can find myself worthy in people. But what they do is just destroy me. It's just hurt me. And they were ready even to finish me.
My goodness. So what happened next?
So what happened next is that I went deep in loving money. I went deep
now you are
in wanting sugar daddies. because at least my age won't be able to give me self-care I need.
Yeah.
My age will not be able to give me money,
Yeah.
but sugar daddies will be able to give me money.
Yeah, what you want.
At that time, they will take care of me.
Yeah.
At that time, maybe they will go take me in a good hotel, like that, and at least give me money and buy me things that I need, even buy me pants, So I felt that I am okay. I never knew that I'm being destroyed. Yeah.
So this was happening while you are going back to school, because this is a boarding school.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
And now when you are going back to school, or maybe when the school are closed, maybe you are on vacation.
You're right.
So you try to look for men, sugar daddies, to get shopping from them, things like that. Yeah.
Yes.
So when you are going back to school is when you are doing shopping with this man. Yeah. But by then, did your mom give you shopping money, or you are just only depending on this money that you are given by these sugar daddies?
You see, the money that your parents would give you, or the money that my mom used to give me, it was not enough. Or even sometimes there is no money.
Yeah.
At all, there is no shopping. So you have to look for a help from another source. Because your mother, first of all, she's trying to put the bread in the table, to also have, school fees, not only for me, but for other children. So it was like, when I'm going back to school, I will catch up with the guy. He can buy me whatever I need. I will have sex with them, and then I will go back to school. When I'm closing the school, or when we are in midterm, we will catch up again. Or maybe I will not catch up with that one. I will hook up with another one. Yeah.
Okay, to cut the story short time,
Yes.
because of the short time that we have, Yani, what happened next? Did you finish your Form 4, or how was your, what happened next? Did you finish your Form 4? And after Form 4, what kind of a life did you have?
Okay, I had this headmistress in that school. I found a headmistress, not a principal.
Yeah.
So she was so strict with the girls. She was so good. She wanted to connect with the girls. So she knew my habits.
She knew.
She started knowing me. She started seeing odd things. And because sometimes I will come late, I'll be brought by a man.
So she spotted you with a man.
Yes.
That's when she knew.
Yes, I remember even when I was doing my exam, my KCSE, I was expelled. And at that time, my brother died. So I was carrying my heart, my bitterness, and everything.
Yeah.
And also, I am mourning my brother, and no one knows.
Yeah. No one knows.
Even the school doesn't know about this. So it was so hard for me. I sat for my KCSE. I was coming with the bus, of school, from my home to the school. But at the same time, the school teachers that we were in with we were with in the bus. They want.
Yani,
Yeah.
You mean the school drivers, or
Not the school drivers, the teachers.
the teachers?
Yes.
Wow.
They still wanted me.
They wanted to have a relationship with you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I think
Did you accept, or?
yes, I accepted one teacher.
Really?
Yes.
Then after KCSE, what happened?
After KCSE, when I finished the exam, this teacher, we used to cook up, we used to spend time, we used to go out, we used to drink, and that's how I knew how to even drink. how to
so
even
you
drink
learned-
alcohol.
You learned how to drink through the teacher.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I started, and when I couldn't had contact with the teacher,
Yeah.
I went in the club alone.
Wow. Now you started to go
To the club.
Yeah, alone.
Yeah.
Wow. What happened?
When I went to the club, I remember I found girls there.
Mm-hmm.
They were girls. They want to know who is this new girl.
Yeah.
So they decided even to want a relationship with me because I was tender, I was young, I was beautiful,
Yeah.
and I was new. And as you know, everywhere you go, people want new things.
Yeah, yeah. Very true.
I don't know why people love new
Because
things.
they are fresh.
So
things.
I was like, the girls were attracted to me, they want to know you. So there was this particular girl who took me. She took me, she told me this goes like this. You start drinking beer. I don't know how to, but I was drinking one beer and
now it's like you are in a class. You are learning
Yeah,
how to
I'm
start
just
drinking,
learning, you know.
how to do things
Yeah.
in the pub.
Yeah.
Wow.
And when I couldn't find a man, she was telling me, let's go to my place.
Oh, she offer you.
Yeah. So I started staying in her place. My mother didn't even know where I am. And my mother started looking for me because my baby, I left my baby.
Yeah, because of your baby.
Yeah.
And by this time that you are doing all these things, how old is your baby now?
Right now,
I mean,
my
not-
baby is almost 2 years.
Was 2 years
Yeah.
now. Wow.
Yeah. And the only thing I wanted is to leave home. I never wanted to stay at home. And I thank God because, okay, rebellion is bad, but I was a rebellious kid. And I thank God because this rebellious of me, it has taught me a lot. I have passed through a lot of things and I know a lot of things.
Yeah.
But now I thank God because I came out victorious.
Yeah. And by then, you are doing all these things. You ran away from home. Your mom doesn't know where you are.
Yes.
In your mind, are you thinking about your baby? How is my baby doing? What is happening? How is my mommy?
Yes, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. If you're in jail, you can't be able to rescue yourself and you can't be able to rescue others.
Yeah, very true.
Because you are in jail, you are in a prison. And the prison itself, you don't know how you're going to come out. You don't even know how, if you are in prison.
Yeah.
First things first.
Yeah.
You're in prison, you don't know you're in prison. So there is no self-acceptance. So I was like, Mommy is looking for me. I remember the first time I ran away from home, I was still even in school. I remember I was in school. And mommy came with my child and he told the police that I have left the child. He came where I was and he took me and he took me to jail. So you can imagine.
So when you were still in school, your mom came with your baby.
Yes.
In your boarding school now.
No.
Oh,
I'm not now in school. I ran away from home. I went to some girl.
Yeah, this girl that you were staying with.
Yeah.
Okay, finally your mom found you where
Yes.
you were staying.
Yes.
And she came to the police with
Yes.
your baby.
Yes.
And you are put in jail.
I was arrested because
You were
I left
arrested.
the baby and I am a minor. And I am I'm in school. I'm still in school. So I went to prison and it was a very bad experience because they treated me so bad. Because let me tell you something, viewers. If the only person who can understand you is God. Because God knows what you're going through. God knows the shoes that you're wearing. A man cannot understand you. a man can see my mom and see that my mom is taking care of me and the baby, and me, I'm not doing my part.
Yeah.
But I know where I came from. I know the fear. I know the way I was feeling. The self-esteem is gone. I know the heart. I know everything that I was carrying. It was inside deep in my heart, and it was hurting.
Yeah, you were hurting.
You know, I was hurting. So I couldn't be able to take care of somebody else if I was not able to take care of myself.
Yeah.
So it was bad when I went there. They treated me very badly because first of all, I have left my baby,
Yeah.
and second, I have run away. I don't want to go to school anymore. So after some time, I was taken to the children, the head of the children, and they took me and they told me, you're going to be released, yes, you're not going to be charged, but you will be under probation. So I was under probation until I finished my school. When I finished my school, I went back to that girl.
The one that you were staying with.
The one that who introduced me to everything. He showed me, to clubbing. So I went back, and when I went back now, I am full like, now I don't care, but I'm not going back home. I don't love home. That's it.
Now you already make a decision that you are not
going back home. I don't love home, and that's it. So my mom, the second time, came and brought the baby, and that is when I decided to go back still and stay with the baby somehow. But I had this urge in my life, all in my heart, that there is something in my home that I don't like. That the environment is, I don't know, it is toxic. So I'm not going to stay there. But I didn't know how I will be able to free myself in that environment, because I don't have money. I am a young girl. I don't know anything. So I had to go back. I didn't go back home, but my mom came and brought the baby, and I had to go back home still. So after some time, I ran away again.
You left you. Were you not feeling pity for your child?
I loved my child so much, and I said, this time, because I have run away, I know I will do this job. I will be relying on men to give me money. I will sleep with them, but I will rent my house. I will come and stay with my baby. So that was my goal.
So you finally, that was your goal.
Yes.
And did you finally fulfill your?
Yes, I remember there was a time that I went. I met another girl. The first girl, she was staying in a nasty place, a very bad place. But the second girl, she was very ambitious, and she was like very aggressive to men, and she knew what she wanted. So if she wanted money, she would get money. She was so ambitious. So she showed me her home. Her mother has died, and her daddy was a watchman, but she was selling books. And at the same time, she was going in clubs. So she told me, Lydia, you can do it. You can stay with your child. Just come. You can find money to rent even a house. And that is what I did. I stayed in her house for some time because she was taking care of her sister and her sister's child. So I stayed in their home, and eventually I went back home. I took my son.
And now, when you are going out for clubbing, who was taking care of your baby?
I had my sister, my young sister. She was taking care of my baby. At the time, she was not going to school. But after some time, the girl that I'm telling you about, she went to Nakuru. I'm telling you that she was so ambitious. So she went in Nakuru and she met these kind of people that know how to drug men in the alcohol and then put the drugs in the alcohol, and then later she will steal
and take everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
So she came home. She stole somebody's phone and she came home and she met me there.
Yeah.
And she was like, Lydia, we have to go somewhere in Nakuru. Let's go there. Because there money is like rain.
Wow.
So let's go there.
So and you agreed?
Yes.
Wow.
And I left my baby again.
With your
at
sister?
home.
At home?
Yeah.
Wow.
I left my baby again at home and said, I'm going to make a living there. So I went to Nakuru.
What about this your rental house? Now you shifted
to
I shifted. Where you were to Nakuru?
Yes, I didn't even have so many things. I think bed.
Only bed,
yeah. It was not so many stuff. So I carried my bag and we went to Nakuru and I left my baby there. So when we went to Nakuru, we started, she started that job.
Yeah. Of dragging me.
Yeah, but of me, I didn't know how. I was not even ready to risk. So I stayed like that. She was jealous of me sometimes because I remember I met a guy there. The guy loved me so much. The guy was in a high rank where he was doing the job. So the guy was providing for me. I was sending money home at that time. And I didn't even think to rent a home. I never thought that I would settle in Nakuru. So I didn't think to stay there. I didn't buy anything. I was living in a room in a hotel.
In a hotel?
Yeah.
Wow.
So the guy was providing, and after some time, I was staying. So remember, I was staying with the guy not because of love.
So you didn't love him?
I was hurt. How can I be able to love somebody? How?
So you are there for money?
Yeah,
not for love.
Yes. The guy is older than me. Yeah. So, and the guy had a wife. And they separated. And he had another. And right now they're staying together. But me, I'm here. I don't want him, but he loves me.
Yeah.
And me, I'm staying because he provides money.
Yeah, that's why you are there.
And after some time, the guy left me because the guy had children. The guy had to provide for his children. And because he was not providing, the family reached out. And he was cut all his salary.
Really?
So the remaining salary was very small for me
and him.
Yeah.
So he had to go back to his children.
Yeah.
And he left you there in a hotel.
He couldn't even leave me. I was the one who left him because there is no money coming in now.
Now you told him now you have to go because there is
leave
no
me
money.
Alone because you cannot provide for me.
Now, how will you pay this hotel that you are living in?
There is another man out there.
Yeah.
You forgot?
Yeah.
There is another man out there.
Yeah.
So I used to live in a hotel. I would bring so many men in a hotel, have sex with them, they pay me, they go.
Yeah.
And I would have a lot of money, but I was not planning to stay in a group. So I never bought anything.
And did you join this lady to drug men, or you just you had that fear of drugging because maybe you didn't want to risk? So did you join her, or you were just sleeping with men, only sleeping with?
When I started to have money, I loved my mom so much. I loved my siblings so much. I knew the struggles that my mother is passing through. So I was helping her. In everything I was helping her. And I wanted Bado to go back home. So I went back home. And I stayed there. But I realized too, still there is difficulties.
Yeah. But this money that now you're helping with your mom, Is she asking you where are you getting money?
Yes, she even knows. I'm telling you, me,
she
I'm
knew.
open.
She knew where you were getting money?
Yes.
How did she take it?
She would tell me, she was saved. She would tell me, Lydia, stop this. You can do something else. But the only thing I knew to do is that. Because my self-esteem was low. My self-worth was low. I didn't know my value. So I couldn't even go find a job. Sometimes I went to find a job. But if I be rejected, I will never go back. I will never go back to look for a job. So I was asking myself inside me, how will people take me? How will people take me?
So you are
starting from my flesh. No, I'm not doing that.
You are giving up quickly.
Yeah, like I couldn't be rejected.
Yeah.
If you reject me and tell me there's no job, that is a nightmare to me.
So what happened when you go back to home?
I went back and still, maybe I thought that maybe the love would be there, but there was no love still. So I stayed for some time. The struggles of the past, we are still struggling. So it's when I go back to doing the job that I was doing, there was love, there was money. And
at home there's nothing.
And at least I could go to the club, be happy, drink alcohol, be crazy. Yeah. It was like that. And now I stayed at home for some time. And after that, I went now back to home.
Yeah.
When I went back, and I found this girl. She told me that, Lydia, come on. She was renting a house, so she told me, Lydia, come on. Rent your house too. Stay in my house, and after some time you will rent your house.
Yeah.
And I said yes. And I went to her house. I remember I used to pay her house. I used to feed them sometimes. Because at least when I go to club, I will get even men before her.
Yeah.
And life was a struggle. But I just called myself and said to myself that now I need to settle down. Now I need a house because I need my baby with me.
Yeah.
Because at that time, my baby was like 3 years or 2 years and a half. So I went back home. I took my kid and started staying with my baby. In my house there was only a mattress.
Only
a mattress and a stove and some kind, cups. Maybe
small
cups.
things to start with.
Yeah. That's how I started. And I stayed there and I told the girl that, my friend, now show me how to do this. Show me how to put mchere. That's how they call it. Show me how to drag men. Now I'm ready.
So you finally agreed?
Yeah, because I can see she have money. She have money. Like when she comes home, sometimes she comes with 40,000, 50,000, 20,000. I'm like, no. Yes, I need this.
You need this.
Yeah.
So you started.
Did she
show you?
No, she didn't.
She didn't show you?
No, she refused.
And how did you start?
She had friends. So I had to go to those friends that was selling to her without her knowing.
Yeah.
So I went and the woman was like, oh, you need to tell me that she doesn't want to show you? Don't worry. Take this. She gave it to me. And I was like, the day she gave it to me, the day I decided to go out, I went and met a man. I dragged him and took 70,000. My first time to drag a man.
Wow.
Yeah.
70,000.
Yes.
How did you feel?
Like I was so broke. I was sleeping in a mattress, no bed. And now at least I will pay my rent. I'll be able to buy my child clothes because he doesn't have. I'll be able to at least shift to a nicer house. I'll be able to plan my life a little bit.
Now,
And help my family back home.
okay, when you are doing this,
Yes.
this is the first time
Yeah.
you have done that. Do you have any regrets when you are doing this? Do you have any fear? What if something happened and this man died? Do you have any regrets?
Okay, yes, I do. But I remember very well, I was going through a difficult time. I didn't have rent. I remember I was leaving my son with some friends of mine.
Yeah, neighbors?
Yeah, neighbors. And sometimes I even left my baby at home, at house.
Alone?
Yeah, just locking the door. And I left the baby.
3 years?
Yeah. And I remember it was so difficult to do that. So I felt like when I got the money, I felt like it's God answering my prayers. And I felt like I had a breakthrough in life. At least me also, I deserve to eat.
This is the first man that you have dragged, yeah?
Yes.
Will you continue or your problem are over now? Because now this is a lot. 70, I have to buy this and this, I have to help mom. So do you say now, I will stop there because I don't want to risk my life, or you will still continue?
I'm telling you, it's a setup. Because when you take somebody's else thing, something that doesn't belong to you, it is a setup. Or maybe when you just start a bad habit, it's a setup. You start drinking today, it's a setup. You start stealing today, it's a setup. You start adultery today, it's a setup. It is a habit. And the devil keeps telling you, you can do it again. You can try it again. So it is my first time. And it was like the board is growing now.
Yeah.
And I was telling myself, so I can do this.
Now you have tasted the goodness
Yeah.
of money.
Yeah.
Now there's no turning back.
Yeah. And I was whenever I would steal to a man, I was like, he wanted to take advantage of me. So when I took advantage of him first, there's no regret. Like this man wanted to take advantage of me. And I took advantage of him, so I'm okay.
So for how long did you continue with this? And what was the end of this?
I went with this habit a long time. And I would steal to men like that one. I stole to him. He reached back to me because I had given him my number. He reached out, he called me, and I told him. He told me that he will take me to a witch. And I was like, go. I am the biggest witch. So go, just go. And by the way, I was not doing anything like that. It's only that I knew that it was like God answering my prayer. And I'm telling you, my viewers, that God is a friend of sinners. Don't say that you have sinned so much. You cannot have a relationship with God.
Yeah.
Start where you are. So I went to Kisumu. I would stole there.
Oh,
You
reached
to,
even
to
Kisumu.
Eldoret, yes.
Wow.
I went even Kitale.
Wow.
I could steal there. I went to Nairobi. I went to Thika. I think Thika knows me.
Wow. So you dragged a lot of men.
I dragged a lot of men.
Wow.
And I think
All these places that you are going, you are doing that work of dragging or sleeping with men.
sometimes I would sleep with men because sometimes, a lot of other days they don't, they are not the same. Like you will find these days you broke.
Yeah.
There is no man to drag. So what do? You want to eat tomorrow.
Yeah.
And like there is no plan. Like when you get this money, you spend the money. No planning.
Yeah.
It's like the money it is cursed. You cannot do anything with the money.
Yes.
You buy stuffs in your house, and later you will take them to Shiloh, or you will even sell them because you have lacked even food.
Yeah.
So it was not blessed money. I think God wanted me to just be a vessel and tell you that you can do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you're going through. If it is an addiction you have, you can pass through it. You are just an vessel, and God wants to use you.
Yeah.
There is a purpose in your pain.
Yes.
So, and I tell people, wear your crown, wear your past, wear your story like a crown.
Yes.
Because there is a purpose.
Yes, there is.
Yes.
So, how did this end? Or how did you come to stop drugging men?
I remember when I was coming to stop this, it was 2016, and I was telling God to change my life because I knew God. I was listening to the word. I always, I was brought up in church, as I said, and I was telling God to change my life, to change my name, because I was an imposter. I was not Lydia. I could even give myself some names out there.
So you are not telling your real name?
Yes, I was not telling my real name. And the behaviors that I was doing right now, I left them.
Yeah.
The attitudes, the behaviors, the traits. And I'm telling you that you are God's masterpiece.
Amen.
There is some behaviors that the devil came to give you.
Yeah.
Spiritually, you are given some attitude by the devil. Spiritually, you are an imposter. You are not the masterpiece leader of God. You are not that.
Yeah.
You're just somebody else.
Very true.
Because you're doing the wrong work. You're doing the wrong work in this world because that is not what God wanted you to do when you came into this earth.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you that I was so strong. My sister knew me like a strong woman. I couldn't even cry before men. I was hurt. I was, I couldn't let it go. It was always in my heart. I seemed like I had no weakness before people, but I never let anyone come closer to me.
You never wanted
wanted anybody to know me. I was just like, I want to live my life, and that's it.
alone.
Yeah.
So the whole of this journey, you are doing all these things of dragging men. Did you? I mean, you were lucky, as in there was no one, or the police did not catch you, or you are just lucky to do away with it without any, or what happened?
At that time, I remember I couldn't even be arrested. But I remember at one time I got arrested. I dragged a man in Nairobi. He got me in Nairobi, in one of the clubs in Nairobi. We went to his house, and the man, I dragged him. I stole his belongings, like laptops, phones, and money. But after that time, I went home. But after some time, I went in a club in Thika Road. So he met me there. And when he saw me, he called the police on me. And I was arrested. But when I was arrested, I remember very well. I had even mchele in a tissue in my purse. And they opened my purse, the police opened they opened my purse. They told me, here's where you keep mchele. Let's see. They opened even the tissue, they saw the tissue, they didn't touch it.
To those viewers who are watching us, maybe they don't know mchele. What is mchele?
Mchele is a drug. You put it in someone's beer, and then he will drink it and he will sleep.
So here you are.
Yes.
Now they have the evidence. What happened?
They don't have evidence because they did not see the mchele.
They didn't see.
So I am in the police cell.
Okay.
But when I'm in the police cell, the guy is communicating with the police that have arrested me, buying them alcohol.
Really?
Yes. And they called my father. My father came, and by the way, I was feeling embarrassed in my heart, but I couldn't change. I was like, why am I even putting my parents into shame? My father have never drank alcohol. My mother have never drank alcohol. And I was like, my father also have never stolen anyone's stuff. They are good people. And now here I am. I was feeling so embarrassed, but I couldn't change. So I'm telling you, addiction is real. Addiction. And when don't ever judge anybody. If you have not walked into a person's shoes, don't point anybody. Because me, I used to judge people. Like I used to judge myself. So I was self-judging myself. I was not ready to forgive myself. I was not ready to forgive others. I was not ready to not judge people. So don't judge before entering into someone's shoes or listening to their story.
So for how long were you jailed?
I was not jailed. It was on Sunday. So the police came. He was a CID. He was the one who arrested me. But he told me, I'm letting you go, but you will sign this document that you will pay this man. When will you get the money? I told him like the next week, like Wednesday. But I knew for sure I will not get the money because it was like 52,000. So I told him I will get at that time. So he told me not to even sign. So he told me not to sign. But the guy was drunk. So he didn't even notice. And he told me something. He told me, don't take that man to your house. Because the guy was saying that I should take him to my house so that he knows where I stay. So it was like God. Still God was giving me a chance to reflect on myself.
And did you do that?
I didn't.
Why?
Let me tell you. If you are a parent out there, don't tire to pray for your children. My mother was praying for me. She was praying for me. She was kneeling before God and praying for her children. And that is what she has been doing always. She was trying to tell me, change, change, change. She was taking me to jail to see me change. Not that she hated me, but she wanted me to change. But I never changed. I'm telling you that you cannot control anybody else. You have only power over yourself. Pray for people. Don't judge people. Love them. Okay? Love them. Love people so much. And have peace of mind. When you pray, have peace of mind. Because you cannot change anybody. God is the only person who can change someone. So I was released. I went home, continued with my business as usual. Yes.
So you did not stop. You
I didn't
continued.
stop.
Wow.
I continued.
Mhm.
I robbed men.
Mhm.
I'm not proud of that
Mhm.
at all. It was a bad seed.
Yeah.
I planted a bad seed. And I'm telling you, if it was not grace of God,
Yeah.
right now I could be in prison,
Yeah.
or I could be,
Yeah.
right now I could be in prison, or right now I could be dead.
Wow.
6 feet.
Wow. Very true.
So I'm telling you, God is alive. God knows us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. We will take a short break, and when we come back, we will finish with Lydia to tell us what happened at last. How was the end of this job? She will tell us. Thank you for watching.
Bye.